It is a championship for the Bedford Bulldogs, 3 in a row.
Johnson serves it in. Great header there, and it's a goal.
Brian O'Brien shot, Bedford goal.
Sees it about the 18, sends it up and over and in. Big shot, Grace Crowder. Will kick, snaps back, kick is up. It looks good. It is good.
It's good.
It is good.
It's good.
And welcome here to Goffstown, New Hampshire, where the Bedford Bulldogs have traveled to the next door neighbors to take on the Goffstown Grizzlies. I'm Corey Munster Tiger here with Harry Kozlowski, ready for Division I football action tonight. Getting out on BCTV and WBNH 105.1. Harry, keys to the game so far that you're looking at?
Well, the Grizzlies are a team that started out with a win over Nashua South, had a couple of tough losses, and frankly, they're going to need their A game to keep up with the undefeated Bulldogs. In fact, the coach, Zach Matthews, kind of alluded to that a little bit, and we'll have an interview with him in just a minute or two. We had a chance to speak with the coach earlier in the week, and he addressed a few topics. But I want to talk a little bit about this beautiful new facility that the Goffstown Athletic Department created, a brand new turf field, just looks brilliant in front of us, and we're in a brand new press box too. Everything's brand new, and scoreboard looks bright. It's going to be it's a really great investment in the athletic program here in Goffstown to create this field. And really, this is the very first time you and I'm guessing, have been at a football game on a Friday night under the lights here in Goffstown.
Yeah, beautiful new turf. It's shining and sparkling and ready for use. I was actually here last night. The boys soccer team traveled into town, as did the girls soccer team. Both teams coming out with wins here in Goffstown last night, and had a chance to look at the facilities. Wait till you see the light show. It's kind of cool. They do have the LEDs. They can turn them on and off pretty quickly, and they do have some decorative colored lighting over by the stands on the opposite side.
And I think we're ready to roll the coach's interview. Go ahead.
We're speaking with Coach Zach Matthews of the Bedford Bulldogs, undefeated. You know, most teams would love to have one weapon. You have several, from quarterback Black to running backs like Helton, Rizzo, and Corvo, and receivers like Tagliaferro, Elsmore, and Sheridan. What kind of flexibility does it give you when game planning, knowing you have more than one go-to player?
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I think we try to pride ourselves on is we've got a lot of really good athletes, and we have a lot of kids who are capable of doing a lot of things. So, you know, sometimes it can get difficult trying to make sure everybody gets their touches, but it's also, you know, one of those things where we have a group of kids who all buy into a team concept, and we're trying to find creative ways to get each of them involved. That's the only thing I think that's been tough about this season is, you know, we really haven't had to go a full game with the starters, and so I think that it gets a little bit difficult to find enough touches for all those guys, because ideally if we could run, you know, 70 plays or, you know, more plays than we're currently running, we could find more touches for those guys. So we've just been trying to work on a variety of different things, keeping those guys ready and making sure that kind of when your moment comes, every kid's ready for it.
And speaking of tremendous plays, your defense has been outstanding this year after giving up just an opening field goal to BG. They're currently on a 9-quarter scoreless streak. Are your players aware of those streaks, especially when you're putting your bench players in? Is there pressure like, hey, let's keep it going?
You know, I don't. It's not something we talk about as a coaching staff, let's put it that way. But I'm also not naive enough to think that, you know, they're not aware. You know, our kids take, obviously, our defense very seriously. I think our kids understand the value of playing really good defense. So it's not something we talk about as a team or the coaching staff talks to the kids about, but I'm sure they're aware. But I definitely feel like some of that competitive energy gets passed down to our younger groups and some of our backup players. I definitely think if you're a younger guy who's getting an opportunity to go into a varsity game, you don't want to be the one that, you know, breaks up that shutout. So we don't talk about it, but I'm sure within the kids, I think there is a pressure to kind of play at a high level and maintain the same standard no matter who's on the field.
Let's talk special teams. Your kicking game has shaped up well, and it seems like you've settled on Dylan Soden as your field goal kicker. What has Dylan done during the year to hone that skill?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that's difficult for a program like us right now, and this is probably the past, 3 or 4 years that I've been here, is we really haven't had a kid in our program who's just a kicker. And so we have, like we just talked about earlier, we have a lot of really good athletes, but a lot of times, when you look at a kid like Dylan Soden, he's a 3-sport athlete. So he's playing football, he's playing basketball, he's playing lacrosse in the spring. And so there's not a ton of time to specialize and work on some of those techniques. So when Dylan showed up the first part of the preseason, I think we felt like he had a lot of potential, but there's only so much time you can spend on working on that in practice. And so we're definitely very happy with the progression that Dylan's showing. And I think that's one of the reasons why it might not look the same way it looks week 1, that it looks week 4. It's something that we work hard on, and we just keep working on it. And gradually, as kids like Dylan start to get some of those fundamental skills, the success follows. And it's certainly a similar thing we went through last year with Colby Snow. Colby Snow wasn't a natural kicker. It was something we worked on throughout the year. Obviously, even last year, extra points were kind of hot and cold throughout the season. But when we needed Colby to drill that field goal in the championship game, he was ready for the task at hand.
Yeah, that he did. Goffstown has been a longtime rival to Bedford. They're neighboring towns, and, they've got a brand new field, new press box, and they're playing under the lights, which is something new for them as well. And they have a very passionate fan base. What are you expecting from the Grizzlies, and what do you tell your guys on how to handle an atmosphere like that?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit, this matchup is a little bit different than it's been in years past. I don't think it's lost on anybody that Goffstown has experienced a lot of success throughout the history of their football program. And last year was a really tough year in Goffstown for the football program, and there weren't many wins to be found. And, they're trying, Coach Hammond's doing a good job trying to kind of get winning mentality back, and getting that first win of the year this year against Nashua South, I think, was big. And so for them, they're trying to build a little bit of consistency in what they're doing. They're definitely doing some different things than we've seen them do in the past. They used to be more of a spread team, and now you're seeing wing T concepts, which is something different we're seeing from Goffstown. So anytime we have a chance to play against the Grizzlies, our kids get excited about it. Obviously, there's a little bit of special energy going over there on a Friday night. I'm sure they're excited to have us come over there for the rivalry game under the lights for the first time. And anytime you get to, buckle it up against, crosstown rivals, it's a privilege, and our kids are excited about that. We're looking forward to the challenge.
Coach, thank you for your time, and good luck Friday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach Zach Matthews of the Bedford Bulldogs talking about what he's expecting in this game. A little bit of wing tee action. We could be seeing that. And I hope you're watching the TV and seeing a little bit of that red and white light show that took place under the lights here. Quite the entrance here for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it's like Fenway Park here. They upgraded to the LEDs, and now they can make a light show every time there's a home run. So fantastic facility. It's great to be able to help Goffstown break it in this season. It's fantastic that they're able to have Friday nights in the true nature of the phrase instead of Saturday afternoons at 1 p.m. This is a great privilege to the Goffstown High School, and it's great that they're able to take advantage of a facility like this. Harry, you touched on it a little bit in the intro, but it's worth going back to it. The Bulldogs' defense, spectacular so far this season. They're 3-0. They've only let up 3 points all season in that opener to BG, just a field goal, and then have blanked the last two opponents. Of course, the Nashua South game was shortened by inclement weather, and then last week with Keene, again, with a shutout. So this defense is continuing right where they left off at the end of last season.
And as I talked about it with the coach, there are more and more weapons emerging on this Bedford offense. At first we thought Brody Helton had the #1 back job sewn up, and then we saw the emergence of Jack Rizzo and Alec Corvo coming out. And of course now we mentioned Ledger Russell is back from injury. He, I guess, got nicked up in the Jamboree, had missed the first 3 games, but he's suited up today. We'll see if we'll see #4 on the field.
I would imagine we'll see him getting at least a few carries out of the backfield. And let's not forget those weapons on the outside. The receivers have been doing a fantastic job. Despite Luke Soden only playing 1 game, the senior, who's a marvelous basketball player, was out for his senior year out on the wide receiver spot. And again, he hasn't played the last 2 games and is not suited up tonight. So Bennett Matthews probably going to get a little bit of run. Dominic Tagliaferro as usual. Landon Ellsmore had a spectacular game last week against Keene. We're going to look for some more weapons on the outside, as well as tight end Kevin Sheridan.
And the Bulldogs won the toss, and they're going to defer. And they will be defending the end zone to our right. So Goffstown will be receiving, and they're going to be going from left to right here as we're about to kick off at Goffstown High School Stadium. On the new turf, under the new lights. Friday night lights in G-Town.
You mentioned the Goffstown unis. They're looking sharp. The maroon tops, white pants, white numbering, black helmets with the maroon grizzly on the side. Bedford is in their away white uniforms, black pants, black helmets, black numbering. The stands, I have to say, across the way are filling up quickly. A lot of people lining the fence. Cheerleaders from both teams are down there entertaining the fans. The smoke is rising from the snack shack deep in the far corner of the end zone there. This is New England football in the fall. You gotta love the scene.
Oh, Goffstown Grizzly fans, they turn out and they filled up the stands, and like you said, they're lining up along the fences too. So they're ready for exciting action here tonight. And players are getting in position. Looks like number 7 is going to be receiving the kick, Gavin Philbrook, along with number 13, Will Patno. They're going to be the deep men for the Grizzlies. And Dylan Soden tees the ball up. He'll be kicking it off.
Kickoff coverage team has done a nice job this year. Again, Soden has become a lot more consistent as a kicker in both kicking off as well as the place kicking duties. He takes his 7-8 yard set. He's ready for his run up. And we are just about underway. 12 minutes on the board. Kick is in the air. It's going to be taken by Gavin Philbrook. Starts up the middle, now breaks to his right, tries to get to the sideline, but he's well covered and will be stopped inside the Grizzlies' 15-yard line, where they will start 1st and 10.
Excellent kickoff coverage there by the Bulldogs. And the Grizzlies are going to have a long way to go here to get to the end zone. 85 yards, as a matter of fact. They're going to start on their own 15-yard line, 1st and 10.
Ball is placed on the right hash. Of course, last week we saw that tight, keen offense doing a lot of wishbone formation. Grizzlies are going to spread it out, so the Bulldogs are likely going to be back in their 4-man front instead of that 5-man front that you saw with the big dogs up front. Tyler Simard under center for the Grizzlies. Defensive line moving around. They're going to do a jet sweep off the left-hand side. They turn and give it to 33. That's Billy Schmidt. Gets out maybe 2 or 3 yards. I think they're going to mark him down at the 17, maybe 18-yard line.
And Kevin Sheridan leading the rush for the Bulldogs, tracking down Schmidt and tackling him after a 3-yard gain.
Call it 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7 from the Grizzlies' 18-yard line.
All the way across the field there. It was quite a long run for that 3-yard gain, but Schmidt tried to get the edge.
Yeah, you got to be pretty fast to get around the edge on the Bulldogs.
Sure do a little confusion in the backfield, but now the Grizzlies get that figured out. Tight end right and 2 receivers to the right. Simard calls out the signals, toss pitch to the right-hand side. Soden and Sheridan combine on the tackle near the 20-yard line. Forward progress might get him out to the 21.
Positive yards, that's what the Grizzlies want to see. They just got to, as long as they keep the ball moving 4 to 5 yards at a clip, keep the chains moving, then now they're in 3rd and short. They've got a makeable 1st down here.
We do have a
third down.
flag down, though, so it looks like there was a false start. Legal procedure of some sort, maybe not a false start, but a procedure penalty. So they're going to march the Grizzlies back, and as you were saying, positive yardage is what you want. This is going to be a negative yardage play here.
Well, at least they'll get 2nd down back. So they've got two downs here to where are they going to put them?
Usually procedures 5 yards, so they're going to march them back from that original line of scrimmage. Should be 2nd and 11 or 12.
Okay.
False start on the Grizzlies. 5-yard penalty. 2nd and 12.
So now what the Grizzlies wanted here, they need to run a clean game. They need to make positive yards on every play. And they need to control the ball. They have to keep it away from the Bulldog offense.
So 2nd and 12 from their own 13. The Grizzlies back out on the line of scrimmage. Simard under center. Reverse pivots out. Handoff in the backfield. That's number 13, Will Patnode, and he's wrapped up maybe for a 2-yard loss.
Jake Ben, first Bulldog there. taking him down at the 10-yard line, is it?
It's like maybe just outside the 10 at the 11, so it'll be 3rd and about 14 yards.
Yeah, this is tough. You know, they had a 3rd and 4. Penalty sends them back, and a loss on 2nd down gives them a long 3rd down to make here.
Smart back under center. Pivots out, looking to pass. Off to his right-hand side. Pass is too high, incomplete, intended for Will Patnode. And the Grizzlies are going to go basically 3 and out after that penalty set them back. 4th and 14, they're going to be punting likely with heels on their end zone.
Yeah, they will be in the end zone when they kick. And I expect Dominic Tagliaferro, he's going to be in Goffstown territory right around the 42-yard line. He's been pretty cautious of late, not really making catches, letting the ball bounce. We'll see if he makes the catch here.
A bit of that stemmed from that first game against Bishop Girton. Of course, the first game you're going to see a few errors. Unfortunately, Pulcineri, that's Tagliaferro, muffed a punt there. So he has, as you said, been a little bit hesitant fielding the ball out of the air. This is Shane Lynn back to punt for the Grizzlies. Shanks it a little bit near side, bounces at the 31, gets a positive roll, and it'll come all the way out to the 45-yard line where it is down by Jaden Hastings for the Grizzlies.
Oh, that was kind of a tricky bounce there. It got awfully close to Pete Suazo.
Sure
Didn't see the ball, almost clipped him there. Could have been a turnover.
He avoids disaster. The Bulldogs will have fantastic field position as they take over on the Grizzlies' 45-yard line.
And Danny Black brings his team to the line of scrimmage.
Brody Helton is off to his right side. He's in the pistol formation. Slot right, tight left, flanker left. Takes the snap, holds it off to Helton off the left-hand side. He'll get ahead for 3, maybe 4 yards. We'll call it 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 as the ball is marked on the 42-yard line.
Antonio Hebert, or Abear, with the tackle. He was the first Grizzly to make contact, bringing him down at the 42-yard line. So 3-yard gain there for Helton. 2nd and 7 coming up with 10 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And we see Ledger Russell playing one of those wide receiver spots too. That's fun to see. Slot left, tight right, flanker to the right-hand side. Helton in the backfield with Danny Black, who is in the pistol. Barks out the signals. In motion is Russell. They give it to Helton again, off the right-hand side. Big holes. He's still going. Bounces to the outside to the left. He's got plenty of yardage for the first down, and he's going to be tackled at the 22-yard line. First down for the Bulldogs.
Gavin Philbrook for Goffstown making the tackle, and Philbrook very wisely pawing at the ball, getting that bear paw in there, and Helton learning his lesson from game 1. He really protected the ball on the way down to the turf.
Good job there by the sophomore runner. We're going to have trips out to the right-hand side. Soden is tight left. Black has Helton in the backfield with him again in the pistol. Calls out the signals, takes the snap. Little toss sweep to Helton off to the right side. There's a lot of room to maneuver, and he gets down inside the 5-yard line for another first down. Bedford Bulldogs, 1st and goal.
It was just a simple sweep there, but Bedford able to clear out a lane. He was able to get almost to the goal line with that run. Now he's on the 4-yard line.
Good blocking out on the right-hand side, caving in the defensive line, giving Helton plenty of room to run. We're going to go 3 receivers to the right side, including Soden tight. 1 flanker all the way to the left. That is Landon Elsmore. Motion right to left. They're going to give it to Helton right up the middle. Again, the ball's on the ground, but Helton pounces on it again. It is down at the 1-yard line. He took an initial hit as he got through the line of scrimmage, and the ball tumbled out of his hands, but he was able to cover it. Fortuitous bounce as it came right back to him.
Yeah, I don't think it was a clean handoff. I don't think he had a full grip of that ball, and that first contact was able to knock the ball out of his hands. So
2nd and goal from the 1. Helton in the backfield with Black. Slot right, tight left, flanker is left. That flanker is Ledger Russell. He goes in motion left to right, and they give it to Russell. He takes a step to his right-hand side, and he's in for a touchdown. Ledger Russell puts the Bulldogs on the board on their first drive of the game.
Big hole opened up in the line. Ledger Russell, who scored a touchdown in the Jamboree. That was his last game action. Now he's back here in game number 4, getting on the score sheet as well. 6-0 Bulldogs with 8:09 to play in the first.
And they'll try the point after. Henryshawn will snap. Danny Black will hold. And Dylan Soden, as we've talked about in the opening, doing a nice job with the place kicking, will kick. Snap is back, hold is down, it looks good. It is good. 7-0 is your score as the Bulldogs take the opening possession for them, march down the field, and they score a touchdown.
If you're watching on BCTV, we're going to restart our video connection back to the studio, try to improve things a little bit, but we'll keep going here on the radio side. The Bedford Bulldog Athletic Booster Club would like to thank our generous platinum sponsors, including Spectrum Marketing, Bedford Village Inn, BEI Network, London Orthodontics, Restore Hyper Wellness, Wicked Good Butcher.
There it is.
Looney Insurance as well. Plus a special thank you to our gold sponsors, Realty One, Ethan Allen, Granite State Cabinetry, and Liberty Hill Construction. On behalf of the 461 student athletes this season, thank you for your support. And if you're interested in becoming a corporate sponsor or becoming an individual member, please grab a form at the concession stand at the next home game or go online to bbabc.net.
Philbrook and Patnode back to receive this kickoff from the toe of Dylan Soden. I say toe, it's actually the instep, Harry. I'm going to correct myself there.
Yeah, they haven't toe kicked in years.
Yeah.
Not since.
Coming up here is Patnode. He takes it at about the 10. Gets out to his right-hand side, out past the 20, and he'll be tackled at the 22-yard line, where the Grizzlies will start their second possession of the game.
Yeah, they haven't kicked straight forward since Tom Dempsey.
Yeah, Tom, what is that, 64-yarder? That was an NFL, or 63?
Of course, Tom Dempsey didn't have any toes on his kicking foot.
Do you think that's an advantage that he had a block of wood in there?
Yeah.
So Samard brings out the Grizzlies offense. Flankers split well to the left-hand side, but they are in that T formation that Coach Matthews was talking about. They're going to go sweep off the left-hand side, jet sweep, and that is Gavin Philbrook carrying the ball, and he's tackled down at the 26, 27-yard line.
Pretty good gain there. 5 yards they're going to give him on first down. So, like I mentioned before, if they get big chunk plays, 5 yards or more on first and second down, it's going to make a very manageable third down, and they need to play that ball control offense here.
They sure do. Bulldogs back in that 4-down lineman defense. 4 linebackers stacked in behind them. Samard gives a jet sweep off to the right-hand side this time. This one is Will Patnode. He gets maybe 2 yards. He's out to the 29-yard line, and they have a manageable third down with 3rd and 3. See how creative they get in their playbook to pick up this first down.
Patnode had to be careful there as well with the ball. Both defenses are ball hawking. They're going after that ball, trying to force turnovers. Patnode did a good job hang on to the rock on that play. I was going to mention too, the press box is so close, plus I use binoculars. I feel like I'm looking over the shoulders of the players. Like a sky cam practice.
There you go. Easy enough. Zoom right in. Samard back under center in this 3rd and 3. Takes a snap, hands it off. Tackled in the backfield. And the Grizzlies will not get it. That was Jake Benz knifing through the offensive line and getting a tackle for maybe not a loss, but certainly not a gain. It'll be 4th and 3.
So we'll see what Goffstown does here. Are they going to roll the dice this early, 6:20 to go in the first, or are they they're going to punt it away?
We see Shane Lynn in there counting numbers on his special teams. That's number 23 for the Grizzlies. They are going to punt it away unless we see some trickery.
And Tagliaferro is back on his own 40-yard line, waiting for the kick. We'll see if Shane can get a stronger kickoff here. This one does look good.
A little better. Bounces at the 49-yard line in Bedford territory, but it is downed right there. Jacob Gagne will down it. And the Bulldogs, once again, will have pretty good starting position at their own 49.
Not a golfer, but was that kind of like a 7-iron shot where the ball just bit the green? It hit and it stopped right there. It stuck at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, I think it was more like a 9 or a pitching wedge. That 7-iron, you're still probably going to get a little rollout, but I like the analogy. So back in the pistol, Danny Black. In motion, Tagliaferro. He'll get it on a jet sweep to the right-hand side. He'll have some room as he gets out and around. Big gainer, 25-yard line as he's pushed out of bounds in Grizzlies territory. So big gain on first down for Tagliaferro.
They're going to mark him down at the 22-yard line. So pretty good chunk of yardage there, 25, 26 yards. Actually, it's the 27-yard line. Apologies. The angle's kind of low, so it's a little hard to tell which yard line.
Yeah, we're going to be messing that up all game. I hope the viewers and listeners can forgive us for that. Slot right, tight left. Ledger Russell is the flanker to the left-hand side. He'll go in motion left to right. Black takes the snap, doesn't hand it off. He fakes it. Now he's getting out to the left-hand side. He's got the edge, and he's in for a touchdown. The Bulldogs are going up 13-0 with the PAT to come. A 27-yard touchdown run for Danny Black.
Danny Black, a little bit like a little trickery there. Goffstown expecting everything to go to the right. Black pulls that handoff back, and he has a lane to the end zone. It was just a race, and Black just turned on the jets and was able to beat the tackler to the corner and get that touchdown.
He's an athletic kid, and it's great to see him getting some carries too. He's got a nice arm. He's probably a little out of breath here as he's in to hold this PAT, but good scamper there. 27 yards for the senior quarterback, and he puts the Bulldogs up 13-0. Henrichan to Black to Soden's instep. It looks good. It is good. 14-0 is your score as the Grizzlies go up 2 scores with 5:39 to go in the first quarter.
And we're going to reboot that video feed for you right now, so please stand by on the TV side. We'll stay here on the radio side. Go right ahead, Andrew. Pull the plug and make it happen.
Yeah, hopefully it comes back. Woo.
Next broadcast on BCTV coming up, boys soccer against Portsmouth. Tuesday, September 26th, a 7 p.m. start. And I'm going to assume volleyball's still undefeated, right?
I mean, we have to assume that.
They host Londonderry on Thursday, September 28th, 6:30 tip-off or spike-off. I don't know what they... I'm not sure what the volleyball lingo would be.
The opening volley? I don't know. How do you start that? First serve? First serve. There you go. First serve.
6:30 p.m. on BCTV channels 8 and 1072. Make sure you tune in. So hopefully we're back on the TV side.
Soden is back on his side as he's ready to kick it off again.
You know, the connectivity here is a little limited, so don't worry. We are recording this game.
Taken there by the up man, Jurgen Gannon. He gets tackled a little outside the 20-yard line.
That was Bennett Matthews on the tackle. Wrapped him up high and pulled him down like a little doggy.
He did. Nice tackle. Sure-handed. Didn't let him slip out. It'll be marked on the Grizzlies' 23-yard line where they will start their third possession of the game.
Anyway, as I was saying, we are recording the game in HD, so if you're if you're not getting a good view of the video on the game tonight, when we replay it tomorrow and during the rest of the week, you'll see it crystal clear. As like I said, we are recording the game.
Samard takes the Grizzlies offense back to the line of scrimmage. He will be under center. Look, flanker is out to the right-hand side. In the backfield, Vincent Ruiz. They'll fake it to him. They give it off to the right-hand side. That's Will Patnode, and he might have gotten caught for a loss.
I think they're going to give them a yard, I think. Nope, they're going to be no gain, so it'll be... Oh, you're right. They did lose 2 yards there. They're at the 21. And I was going to say, Sheridan had the tackle there. And, you know, the combination of Ben and Sheridan have been lethal on the front here. Goffstown trying to get to the edge, and they can't do it. They can't outrun those two defenders.
Tough putt, I gotta say, with, again, this defense gobbling them up every play. Simard back under center. He'll reverse pivot, give it inside, and eaten up again quickly. That was Gavin Philbrook on the carry.
Alex Gradinskis, the first Bulldog tackler on the scene. They're going to mark him at the 23, so they get the 2 yards back. Or, well, they know, I'm sorry, they're going to call no gain. So
Still on the 21, 3rd and 12. Bulldogs looking to force another 3 and out. See if they can get another touchdown on the board before this first quarter runs out. 4:22 left as it ticks down. Simard is in the pistol now. Ruiz to his left. Takes the snap, looks left. In the pocket, now he'll scramble a little bit and then gets hit as he's trying to throw.
I think it's a live ball.
I don't know if they're going to call that a fumble or not. Looks like Henryshawn covers it up. And they call timeout. Referees are conferring. That might be an incomplete pass.
They're giving it to Bedford.
They do call it a fumble?
Yeah.
They're going to huddle up here a little bit. It's first down. We see the official in the white hat, usually the lead referee. He's pointing first down for the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs get a turnover, first of the game, and even better field position this time as the ball is spotted on the 21-yard line as Henryshawn comes up with a fumble. Well done by Spencer Henryshawn, the senior defensive tackle. Nose for the football, and the Bulldogs take over.
I didn't get the replay here because we're still trying to work on the video side, but a Bedford defender, maybe it was Ben, I'm not sure who got there, but they knocked the ball out of Simard's hand before he could make the forward pass. So not a good result on the first passing attempt there for Goffstown.
Coach Hammond might be arguing for a tuck rule right there, but he'll argue to no avail. And they'll go back to Helton off the left-hand side, picks up some blockers, close to the end zone. Looks like he's in. Tough angle for us, and yes, he is in. A 21-yard touchdown run by Brody Helton. And they push it out to 20-0, first play from scrimmage after the fumble.
Helton getting a chance to redeem himself on that handoff, and he's able to take it into the end zone, 21 yards, and that is his 10th touchdown, I think.
I think it's 9 in 11 quarters. Still pretty darn good. Yeah, he was on pace for a little while. He was a touchdown per quarter, and I think he fell off of that pace. You know, totally unacceptable. That's very sarcastic, just so you know.
Got to pick it up.
So Soden with the extra point. It looks good. It is good. And the Bulldogs up big here in the first quarter already. 21-0 with 3:56 left in the first.
Looks like our video feed is back. Hopefully you're enjoying it and you're able to see that extra point come through. The Bedford Friends of Football is a parent-led organization that functions to support the needs of our team throughout the season. We couldn't do it without the help of their generous sponsors, and they include 10 and 10 Attorneys at Law, Coca-Cola Northeast, Stonyfield Organic, Fine Homes Group International, Pepsi, TJ McCartney Inc., McDonald's on Brown Avenue, Realty One Group, Treescapes by Murphy, and Apex Wealth Management. Thank you to our wonderful sponsors. So 3 possessions and 3 touchdowns for the Bulldogs, and for the Goffstown Grizzlies, 3 possessions, 2 3-and-outs, and 1 turnover on third down.
Those 3 scores, again, Ledger Russell, a 1-yard TD plunge in that first one. Danny Black with a marvelous 27-yard scamper off the left-hand side after a nice sneaky fake to his tailback. And now the Bulldogs will jump on it as the kickoff was short, and Gradinskis got downfield quickly and covered it at the Grizzlies' 27-yard line. So the Bulldogs will have the ball back.
They even caught us by surprise. They squibbed it right down the middle, and I think they definitely caught the Grizzlies napping.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like a squib. It was more just like a short kick and into a vacant area, and nobody was able to get to it quickly enough.
The pooch kick.
Yeah, pooch, yeah, I like that description a little better. Usually the squib's kind of a worm burner right along the turf. This one actually did get some height and just found a weak spot in the cover team.
Well, if I could make an excuse here, the stanchion here in front of the window is kind of blocking my view, so I didn't see the ball in the air. All I saw was rolling on the ground, so I assumed it was going to be a squib.
That is not the case, but the Bulldogs come up with it anyway. The ball is marked at the 28-yard line. And the Bulldogs will go back on the offensive. I believe Coach Hammond took a timeout here as his team is scrambling here in the first quarter.
We may be in run time before the end of the first. Close anyway.
It's a good question. I'm not sure if you actually start run time before halftime. I think it actually has to be in second half if you have that 35-point margin. But
Andrew Fenn confirms that is the case. Andrew Fenn, of course, producing the broadcast. Colleen Richardson on camera tonight, doing a terrific job. Colleen, I know you can hear us.
Dale Bird back in the studio providing us replays. Appreciate the entire BCTV crew. Danny Black back in the pistol. In motion is Bennett Matthews. He's going to throw it downfield. Ledger Russell. We get a halfback pass and we get another 6 points. Coach Matthews drawing up some trickery as Matthews looked like he was going to go on the jet sweep. Drew up the defensive backfield and they go over the top. Ledger Russell with his second touchdown of the game on the 28-yard halfback pass.
A little trickeration there by Coach Matthews, and you got to believe he was setting it up. He had so many of those jet sweeps in this game so far that what's one more? You're going to play it like you always did, and then boom, Matthews stops and finds Russell wide open in the end zone for a touchdown.
Nicely drawn up, nicely executed. And it leads to 6 more points. Soden for the extra point. It looks good. It is good. And just like that, literally 2 plays later, the Bulldogs have another 7 points on the board. 28-0 is your score. 3:46 left in the first quarter.
It's easy to listen to Bedford 105.1 online. Just go to wbnh.bedfordnh.org and you'll find a stream link there. We also stream on apps like TuneIn, MyTuner, Simple Radio, and Radio Garden. You can even tell your Alexa device, Alexa, play Bedford 105.1.
Alexa might be pleased with the score so far if she was a Bedford fan. 28-0 here in the first. The Grizzlies really haven't had a chance to breathe, mostly 3 and outs. They had an unfortunate fumble on the first pass attempt by Samard. And then that last kickoff just found the weak spot in the return team. Soden takes his steps back. Pat Node and Philbrook back to receive for the Grizzlies. Soden takes his run up. Ball is in the air. This one going deeper. It will be received by Will Patnode back inside the 10. He gets out, makes a spin move just short of the 20, but sure-handed tackle by Alex Gradinskis. First there, Matthews, I believe, was in there as well, and perhaps Kevin Sheridan, too. So coming out of their own end, Goffstown will have 1st and 10 on their own 19.
And they just have to get something going here. They need to settle down and just put their heads down and make plays. Like I said, make positive plays, positive yards, get a first down, keep a drive going.
They've struggled so far. Samard back under center. T formation behind him, some movement on the defensive line. They'll give it to Gavin Philbrook. He gets tackled about at the line of scrimmage. We'll call it no gain, 2nd and 10.
Sheridan, first one there. Jack Rizzo, I think, was also there, as was Alex Gradinskis on that tackle.
So 2nd and 10 for the Grizzlies. Bulldogs defense doing a good job of keeping the Grizzlies one-dimensional. They've pretty much had run attempts the entire time, and when Samard did drop back to pass, he was sacked and fumbled. Samard now will roll to his right, looks to pass, throws it deep down the field, just out of reach. Jaden Hastings was in the area, the intended receiver, but it is incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Peter Suazo for Bedford, really the closest one to the ball. Samard's pass overthrowing everybody. It's now 3rd and 10.
Samard did have a couple other receivers out in their patterns, but he was really only looking at Jaden Hastings, and that ball was 2 or 3 yards over Hastings' head. As you mentioned, Suazo was really the only one close enough to be able to catch that. 3rd and 10 for the Grizzlies on their own 19. Samard back under center. Ruiz behind him in the backfield. In motion. Toss sweep to the right-hand side. This is Patnode. He's tackled at about the 25. I think they'll give him out to the 26-yard line. He's still short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 3.
And what do you do here? Go for it? I mean, you're already down 4 touchdowns. You might as well try to keep this drive alive.
Offense seems to be staying on the field. They look to the sideline. Samard gets the play call, breaks the huddle, and they'll go to the line of scrimmage. Some discipline along the front line is going to be needed here. Maybe trying to bait him into a jump. Samard under center. Motion man is Philbrook. They take, toss sweep to Philbrook. The ball's on the ground. He's able to cover it, but they do not get the first down. It'll be turnover on downs, and the Bulldogs once again deep in Grizzlies territory. They will take over on the 21-yard line.
And that was an unfortunate mishap on that play. And it was actually, the play had some potential there. The quick turnaround and pitch, all they needed was 3 yards to get to the first. If it was a clean toss, I think they could have got the first down.
I didn't quite see if he had blockers out in front of him, but yeah, it kind of went to tough situation as soon as he couldn't gather that toss.
Yeah, it looked like he had a hole. I think if he had the ball in his hands, he might have been able to get that first down, but that doesn't matter. It's now first time.
Danny Black deep down the left-hand side, off the receiver's hands. Couldn't get Taliaferro, who was running that post corner route. Either post corner or deep out. Had him down near the goal line. It was tough for us to see, but Taliaferro can't pull it down. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. Nice pass.
Here's the replay.
By the Bulldogs, Danny Black.
Even tough for the camera there. You can see that the post is in the way.
Tough location, but this is much preferable to them going left to right at this point, as we're going to be standing up and sticking our head out the window. Black back in the pistol. In motion, Russell. They're going to give it. Helton off the right-hand side, weaves his way through traffic, and he gets all the way to the left-hand side. That'll be a 22-yard touchdown run by Brody Helton.
And now he's got 10.
And he was dancing through traffic, and now he has 10.
22 yards on the carry.
34-0, a minute 50 to go here in the first. And Dylan Soden coming up to add the extra point.
Soden in to attempt the extra point.
I have to imagine we're going to see some bench players coming in fairly soon.
I would think so. Henryshawn will snap it back to Danny Black, who will hold it for Dylan Soden. Looking for his 5th PAT. Looks off to the left, and it is off to left. PAT, no good.
He didn't get a good angle on that. He kind of shanked it off the foot.
So it will stay 34-0. And the Grizzlies will get back at it. So field position has been a huge, huge advantage for the Bulldogs. They've started inside Grizzlies territory on 4 of their 5 drives. And the one they started in their own territory, it was on their own 49.
We'll be back on the air next Friday from Stellos Stadium. We'll be back to Stellos in Nashua as the Nashua North Titans. Oh, I'm sorry, it's going to be in Bedford? You're right, because we're on the road today. So Nashua North is coming to Bedford. That game beginning at 7 o'clock. It's a 6:45 broadcast start on BCTV and Bedford 105.1 on Friday the 29th.
That should be a good matchup for the Bulldogs. North, pretty solid team traditionally. They're going to need to get out of here this evening. They have opened up quite well. Look like they have this game well in hand. 1:50 to go here in the first quarter. Soden ready to kick it off again. Philbrook and Patnode deep to receive. It'll be Patnode again. He takes it inside the 10-yard line. Gets out to his right-hand side. Swarmed over at the 20-yard line. I think they'll mark him at the 20 where the Grizzlies will take over. Thomas Braga in on the tackle as well.
The Bedford Gunners really very little in the way to get to the ball carrier there. The Grizzly blockers trying to slow him down, but they just kind of move aside, hone in on the runner.
So Samard comes back out with this Grizzlies offense. 1st and 10 on his own 20-yard line. He's back under center. Ruiz behind him. In motion and receiving the handoff is Philbrook. He'll go out to the left-hand side, gets wrapped up, finds a little bit of room, kept his feet and got ahead for positive yardage. He'll be tackled at the 22, maybe the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Great effort there by Philbrook. Refused to go down in the backfield. Bedford, it looked like they were going to get him for a loss, and instead he fought his way to 2 positive yards.
Again, this Bedford defense just absolutely swarming. Had him dead for rights in the backfield, but he's wiggled his way away and gets ahead for 3 yards. Samard back under center. Right up the middle. Ben stuffing up that hole. He'll be first defender there.
No room at all.
As the senior D lineman fills that hole quite nicely.
Vincent Ruiz, the ball carrier for the Grizzlies. They're going to call it, I guess they're going to give him 2 yards, so 3rd and 5 coming up here.
3rd and 5, they need to get to the 30. Samard back under center. That T formation. Jaden Hastings split to the right. They give it to the jet sweep. Patnode tries to get to the outside and he cannot. He'll be stopped for no gain. Perhaps a loss. Now they give him back the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be 4th and 5 on their own 25. It looks like Shane Lynn will come back in and will maybe punt this away, perhaps not. He'll take a timeout. Never mind, that's the end of the quarter. So the end of the first quarter, the Bulldogs lead 34-0. Touchdowns by Ledger Russell, Danny Black, Brody Helton, and then the halfback pass, Matthews to Russell, and then Helton with another touchdown. He's got 2 this evening. The Bulldogs have 5 in total, and they had a dominant first quarter.
We got 1 score to report on, and is this correct? It's already the 3rd quarter in that game? So they got a really early start at Pinkerton Academy, number 3 team in the state against number 2 Londonderry, and the Astros with a 17-13 lead with 1:38 to go in the 3rd quarter. So a terrific contest there.
It's a good game tonight here. That's going to be high on people's lists of things to watch. 2 solid programs that have been doing well this year. And that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Looking at some of the scores from other sports this week, the girls soccer, 8-0. They defeated these Goffstown Grizzlies right here on this field back on yesterday, 21st. 2-1 win, and before that, on the 19th at Concord, a 1-0 win for the ladies.
Yeah, they got a nice win here in overtime last night.
Yeah, the 2-1 win.
Lana Morris with the game winner. So we switch sides of the field. It's going to be a little harder for us to see as we're kind of blocked out by a column here in the press box, but we'll do our best. Ball is on the 25-yard line. It looks like Shane Lynn is coming out and will be in punt formation. Dominic Tagliaferro will be back to receive the punt. He stands at the Grizzlies' 48-yard line.
Deep to kick for Goffstown. And number 8, Brian Tagliaferro. Deep to
Both teams counting up the numbers of players to make sure they have everybody out there. Pretty frequent habit for special teams players. Snap is back. Lynn gets it. Punts away a pretty nice one. Tagliaferro catches it inside his own territory, 48-yard line. Gets out to the left-hand side. Gets the corner out to that far sideline. He looks like he's pushed out of bounds at the Grizzlies' 35-yard line.
Some more scores coming in. We've got Portsmouth Oyster River with a 27-0 lead over Memorial, almost at halftime there. And a D2 game, or D2 versus D1. Sauhegan, or correction, make that Timberlane 21, Sauhegan 20. 8:43 left in the third, and Sauhegan is one of the power teams in Division II.
The Bulldogs back on the offensive side of the ball. 35-yard line in Grizzlies territory, 1st and 10. Danny Black. This time we'll have Alec Corvo in the backfield with him. See some substitutions on the offensive side already. He'll give it to Corvo.
Nope.
No, he won't. He'll keep it for himself. Gets out to the right-hand side. Around the edge, she's got some more room. 1st down and more. He's tackled down at about the 15-yard line. Near sideline. It'll be a 1st down. Good deception there by Black as he looked like he was going to hand it off to Corvo, but likely saw that right side of the defensive line collapse. Decide to pull it down.
And a really nice move faking out Jaden Hastings right around the 40-yard line. That's really where he sprung loose for a big gain.
So the Bulldogs quickly threatening again, 20 yards on that carry. We'll call it 21 actually, as he's marked at the 14-yard line. And we're going to get a new quarterback. Jack May trots into the huddle for the Bulldogs. May brings the Bulldogs to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers out to the left-hand side. Tight right is Sheridan. Corvo in the backfield. May takes the snap. Hands it off to Corvo. He's hit right away. Nice job getting in there quickly was Jacob Gagne.
Yeah.
Tackle for loss.
That was a great tackle. He read that play and was right on top of the Bedford ball carrier immediately. Nobody blocked Gagne on that play. You know, I wonder if that was an option play that Black called and Coach Matthews decided he didn't want his starting quarterback taking any unnecessary hits.
Could be. It could also be it's 34-0 in the first, or excuse me, early in the second quarter. So he wants to get Jack May some time at quarterback. The junior backup going to have quite a bit of playing time this evening. He's got 2 backs in the backfield with him, Corvo and Rizzo.
First lost play there for Bedford. They dropped 2. 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12. May takes the snap, hands it off. Rizzo to the left-hand side. He's got some great blocking. Beats all of the defenders out to the left-hand side, and he's in for a touchdown. 16-yard touchdown for Jack Rizzo.
And we'll see if they go for 2 here to keep it an even 42. Nope. They are going to kick.
They are going to kick. Henrichan will snap. Danny Black will continue to do the holding. And Dylan Soden will try the PAT.
Kicking into the scoreboard end.
Snap is back, the hold is down. It looks off the pipe. He doinks it off the left hand upright. So PAT is no good. It will stay 40-0. So he is 4 for 6 on extra points tonight. I don't believe that will factor into the final margin.
He's getting his legs getting quite the workout. A lot of practice.
Sure is.
Extra points.
Sure is.
Got some more scores to report here. Concord in the second quarter, 8:34 left in the half at Manchester Central at Gill Stadium. The tied with a 7-6 lead over the Little Green. The Battle of Nashville. What do they call that? The River Rave. they call it the Battle of the Bridge. That's right. In Nashua, it's North versus South, and the Panthers with a 15-6 lead over Nashua North. That's at the half, and we're going to see the Titans next week in Bedford. And an out-of-state game, Keene rolling over Brattleboro, Vermont. Cross-border rival right there. They're at the half, 21-0. The Blackbirds lead. And Dover, a team we're going to see later in the year. We're going to travel up to Dover to take the Green Wave. They have a 28-7 lead over their crosstown rival, Spalding of Rochester, with 3 minutes left before the half.
Kick here by Soden, somewhat short. Bounces at the 20-yard line. Fielded and advanced by Gavin Philbrook. He gets out to the 24-yard line where the Grizzlies will take over.
And I think that's going to be the best drive start for the Grizzlies tonight.
Yes, it is. They had one that started on the 23. That was their previous best field position. So the 24 marks their best of the evening.
We have one more score to report. Alvern, also a out-of-state game. They are rolling over Malden, Mass, 36-7. That's after 3.
I thought you were going to coin your new term for that battle down in Nashua, like the River Ruckus or something like that, but I'm glad that Andrew Fenn had you.
I had it on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, all right.
Well, no, I didn't. I had no idea.
Carry up the middle here, ahead for 3 yards, maybe 4.
They're going to give them about 3.5 on that play at the 33.5-yard line.
That's
no,
Jurgen.
sorry, not 33.5.
Jurgen Gannon.
28-yard line.
We'll say 2nd and 6.
Tackled by Jake Shaw.
9:40 to go in the first half.
Jake Sheff had the tackle on that play.
Love to see Fodios Papanikolaou in there on the D-line. We got Gus Forgy in there. Luke 10. Samard reverse pivots, hands it off. Ooh, getting popped. Nice stick on the outside. That was Dustin Westcott coming up with a little face-to-face smack. It'll be 3rd and short here.
Yeah, 3rd and about 1.5 for the Grizzlies. A good chance of them making a first down here. First one of the evening.
So the ball's at the 33-yard line. 3rd and 1. Samard looks to the sideline. Pat Node comes in. Trots in from that sideline as they call out the play in the huddle. They break and approach the line of scrimmage. Samard has Gannon in the backfield behind him. He's under center. Calls out the signals. Pivots away. Pat Node gets wrapped up in the backfield, and I don't think he got that first down. Quickly in on the play, James Tamulovic. And they do force him back. So it'll be 4th and 2, maybe 3. Looks like the Grizzlies will punt as Shane Lynn comes in again. Ready for his 4th punt of the evening.
And we'll see, goes back. Nobody going back for Bedford. I don't know if they're expecting a fake or they're just letting the ball drop wherever it drops.
A little bit of a different formation here as there are 2 split out to the left-hand side. Likely Gunners. Samard is the up back, so this is kind of a dangerous situation. They look like they're going to punt. It skips back to Lynn. He's able to field it off the turf. Gets away a punt. It lands and dribbles into Bedford territory. It'll be down at the 36-yard line for the Bulldogs to take over. They'll have 1st and 10 on their own 36, maybe 37.
Yeah, it was a rough start. Like I said, he fumbled the snap, had to pick it up off the turf. Got a short kickoff, but it got a great roll and probably put Bedford in their worst drive start at the 37-yard line, their own 37. Update from Derry. Londonderry goes out ahead of Pinkerton with 5:59 left in the 4th. It's now 20-17. Lancers over the Astros.
Bulldogs back out. On the offensive end, Lennox Williams will trot in, take a spot in the backfield. And Jack May will be at the helm. Corriveau to his right in the backfield. He's in the pistol. Slot left, tight right. Flanker to the right in motion. Matthews takes the handoff. Jet sweep to the right, picks his battles, gets up ahead for, let's say, about 15 yards, back into Grizzlies territory quickly as he's tackled at the 48-yard line. First down, Bulldogs.
Gavin Philbrook with the initial contact for the Grizzlies, and then the finish by Carter Cheresk.
So 15-yard gain for the Bulldogs. First and 10. Back in Goffstown territory where they have spent most of this first half. 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. May trots back in from the other sideline.
Let's go, Kevin. Hey, Kevin, let's go, baby.
They break the huddle and approach the line of scrimmage. Slot is to the right-hand side. Tight left, flanker to the left. Corvo in the backfield with Jack May. May calls out the signals. He'll give it to Corvo. He'll get out to the left-hand side, cut it up, and get ahead for maybe 5 or 6 yards. We'll call it 5. He's down at the 43-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And tackled by Luke Lavalier, number 11.
You look at the replay there, Corvo had 2 or 3 guys right around him shortly after he took that handoff and had a nice cutback, got ahead for 5 yards.
Yeah, Jacob Gagne actually was first to make contact, and Lavalier came in late.
So May will trot back into the huddle, call out the signals. This Grizzlies defense has to be getting tired. It's wearing on them. 3 receivers to the right now, including the tight end, Dustin Westcott. May calls out the signals. He's in the pistol. He'll hand it off to Corvo. Off the right-hand side, sees some room, cuts it back into the middle. Ahead for 15 or so yards. He's tackled at the 27-yard line. And the Bulldogs will move the sticks again. Perhaps the 28. Still, first down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
James Kutu and Jacob Gagne on the tackles there. Corvo showing some great vision in traffic. He had Goffstown Grizzlies all around him, and he was still able to find a lane to get some good yardage on that play.
Quick feet, active feet. He's got good vision and a couple of nice cutbacks there. Gave him a 15-yard carry and that Bulldog first down. Jack May back to the line of scrimmage, slot left, tight right, flanker to the right-hand side. Corvo next to him to his left. May takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Corvo again, who gets stopped quickly. That was Max Cody coming in and tackling Corvo for a loss. As soon as he got that handoff, Cody was upon him.
Yeah, I think Coach Matthews is kind of putting away the playbook and keeping things pretty straightforward. Simple handoffs here with a 40-point lead.
Makes sense to me. 4.5 to go here in the first half. Second string quarterback Jack May is already in, as you would imagine. Got slot to the left-hand side, tight is right. 2 backs in the backfield with May. He takes the snap. He'll give it to Williams. Williams goes out to the left-hand side, has some room around the left edge, cuts it back up. Now back to the outside. We're going to get a flag thrown, likely
an official
a
got
holding
knocked down.
call. Official is down on that far sideline too,
Might be
just
hurt.
outside of the 10-yard line.
No, they got him up.
Yeah, he pops right back up. He got tangled up with 2 players over there. Took a moment to check all of his senses to make sure he was okay, and he's back on his feet. That's good to see that.
But a penalty on the Bulldogs, first one of the evening. I was going to mention that Corvo made a great block to spring Williams. He was able to seal off Jacob Gagne and allowed Williams to get around the corner and make a big gain there.
Yeah, out on that left-hand side, it looked like Poltrinari was trying to get into the defensive player. I think they're going to get him on the hold. I'm not sure if he was the one that got tangled up with the official.
That was the signal right there, holding.
So they'll push the Bulldogs back 10 yards from that spot of the foul. It looks like it'll be 1st and 7 or so.
We're not sure where the flag is on the 15-yard line. I don't know if that's officially where the penalty occurred.
Looks like it is, because they'll spot the ball at the 25, so good eyes, Harry. I don't say that often, but good eyes,
No,
Harry.
Nobody says that. Nobody says that. They call me Magoo.
It'll be 1st and 7. My broadcast partner, Mr. Magoo, had it correct this time. Again, we welcome in everybody on BCTV and WBNH 105.1. Thank you for the broadcast crew here. Andrew Fenn, Senior Executive Vice President on site. Colleen Richardson running the camera tonight. Dale Bird back in the studio helping us with replays. Harry Kozlowski with his eagle eyes figuring out where the ball is. 4 and change left to go in the first half. Jack May brings the offense back to the line of scrimmage. Claps it up. Corvo will go to the right-hand side. Head of steam, gets through that first line and down to about the 10-yard line. He'll have a first down. And it'll be first and, not quite first and goal. It'll be 1st and 10 as they mark him down just outside of the 10.
Also want to acknowledge Colleen for baking the chocolate chip cookies
yeah,
tonight.
Delicious. Absolutely homemade. I mean, it might be Chips Ahoy, but they're homemade through and through. I had a couple before game time. Don't tell my wife.
Don't worry, we won't say anything.
All right, shh.
No one will know.
Yeah, all right, good. 3:40 and running. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, just outside the 10-yard line. May has 2 backs in the backfield with him. That's Williams and Corvo. Slot to the right, tight left. May takes the snap. Corvo, no. It's back out to the outside. Bennett Matthews, beautiful ball fake. Matthews receives it out to the right-hand side and waltzes in for a touchdown. 11-yard touchdown strike from May to Bennett Matthews.
That was quite the fake because the fake handoff is what drew the tacklers.
Phenomenal fake. Faked out Colleen Richardson on the camera. And a little deception there again from Jack May. Gets it out quickly to Matthews, and again, no real defenders in his way. Was able to walk it in. 46-0 is your score.
We're going to see a backup kicker here, Dominic Tagliaferro.
Dom Tags will give his try. Snap is back. Hold is down. Tags' kick looks good, and it is good. So Tagliaferro makes good on the PAT after 2 misses from Soden. And they push it out to a 47-0 lead.
Tag started out the jamboree as the kicker. Soden took over and did a great job. And of course, we talked about it this pregame with the coach. I might have jinxed him.
Well, he hit his first 4, so you can't complain too much.
That's true.
Hit his first 4, missed his last 2. That means there are 6 touchdowns in all.
7 touchdowns.
Excuse me, 7. Because now Tagliaferro has hit one, so 5 of 7 on the PATs. 47-0 is the score.
Let's talk a little bit about boys soccer. They won their last 3. They're on a 3-game win streak. Their record is 5-2. They beat Concord 4-0, and they also shut out Manchester Central 4-0. Their last 2 games.
They played at Goffstown last night too, and they ended up winning that game. They were out to a 2-0 lead at half. They ended up winning 3-2.
Thank you. They didn't update the website here, so 3 in a row.
Soden kicks it deep. Received and ready for the run back. Hastings will take it out to the right-hand side, gets to the 20 and not much further.
Pinkerton coming back under 2 minutes to go. They're up 24-20. 150 left in that game.
Back and forth affair down there in Derry.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Correction, on 20-yard line.
So the Grizzlies offense trots back out on the field. They'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 20 after a run back by Jaden Hastings. 3:09 to go here in the first half. Samard come back out, looks to the sideline, looks like he might need another player. Ruiz trots back into the backfield. Play clock must be getting short. Samard back under center. He takes the snap, pivots out, gives it off to Patnode into the right side of the line of scrimmage. He's ahead for 3 or 4 yards.
Fodios Papanikolaou on the tackle.
Love it. Papanikolaou. It just flows off your tongue, doesn't it, Harry?
Like water, like a waterfall.
Great job by the D-line again. First stringer setting the tone, and now they're giving the backups some run here. Papanikolaou making good on that. It'll be 2nd and 7 after the gain of 3. 2.5 to go in the first half. Samard under center. He takes the snap. Reverse pivot, gobbled up quickly. Big number 70, Luke 10, slicing through the offensive line and getting a tackle for loss. Well done by Luke 10, the sophomore. He's a big boy, 6'2", 230. A lot to handle up there on that front line.
Yeah, 3-yard loss. That's going to make it 3rd and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the half.
3rd and 10. Inside 2 minutes in the first half. A lot of the defensive backups for the Bulldogs getting some run here. Samard back under center, in motion. That is Patton out. He goes out to the right-hand side, and he'll be tackled right at the 20-yard line. I believe that was 10 again. Not number 10, Luke 10.
Thomas Braga also involved in that play.
So they'll give him a 1-yard gain. It'll be 4th and 9. Shane Lynn back into punt. Samard the up back again. Again, this makes a little bit tough to read. The Bulldogs again do not put a punt returner back to field this. As Samard is that up back. He lets it go. Lynn will get a punt. Nice punt. It'll land at the 50-yard line. Roll ahead for at least 10 yards. And we'll be down at the Bulldogs' 36-yard line where they'll take over.
We've got a final to report. Alvern defeating Malden, Massachusetts 36-13. As we mentioned a moment ago, with under 2 minutes to go, Pinkerton back out in front 24-20 over Londonderry. Keene extending their lead over Brattleboro 42-6. Timberlane holding off Souhegan after 3 quarters. It's 21-20. South over North 15-13. That's also at the end of the third. Portsmouth 27-0 over Memorial at the half. 35-7 Dover over Spalding. That's at halftime as well.
Bulldogs out here. Looks like going to be a victory formation as May takes the snap, kneels it down. May have to do it one more time to get this clock to halftime. And the Bulldogs are going to go into halftime with a 47-0 lead. They are going to take it off as they only need to snap it once. So 47-0 is your lead at halftime. The Bulldogs dominant here. Touchdowns again by Russell, then Black, Helton, Matthews to Russell on that halfback pass. Helton, Rizzo, and then Jack May to Matthews. Racking up quite an offensive performance here and a 47-0 halftime lead.
Well, no marching band today. So we're going to take a little break, throw things back to the radio station, play you a few tunes. We'll be back with the second half in about 15 minutes. 47-0 Bedford over Goffstown. You're watching and listening to Bedford football on BCTV and Bedford 105.1. We are back here at Goffstown Stadium where the Bulldogs lead 47-0. And Corey, we knew this was a bit of a mismatch, but this game really has gone completely in Bedford's favor.
It sure has, and it really, the story of the first half is field position. The Bulldogs' last two possessions started on their own 36 and 37 yard line, but previous to that, they were in Grizzlies territory, let's say, all but two of their first half possessions. So Grizzlies 45, their own 49 effectively at midfield. Grizzlies 21, Grizzlies 28, Grizzlies 22, Grizzlies 35. So pretty much all of the first half has been played in Grizzly territory.
And we're seeing a lot of backups in the game already. Jack May at quarterback, as are some other players as well. The starters, of course, having a big night. Brody Helton getting a couple of touchdowns. Ledger Russell making a big return to the lineup. He's got two, one through the air, one on the ground.
Fantastic to see him back in the lineup again. He was a critical part of their offense last year. He was not suited up for the first 3 games here, so he's getting some run, and I think his run will run out here in the first half as they'll get some backup players to play on the offensive side of the board. Again, the Bulldogs, just a dominant showing so far. Still, their defense causing multiple turnovers, a turnover on downs, a fumble. They also forced the Grizzlies to punt on 5 occasions, so not really giving any breathing room to this Grizzlies offense.
And the pooch kickoff that Grudinskas was able to recover for Bedford. We got some scores from around Division 1. These are finals. Alvern with a 36-13 win over Malden, Mass. And in Derry, Pinkerton Academy, the number 3 team over number 2 Londonderry, their big rival, 24-20 in a final, a game that went back and forth. Londonderry had the lead up until the last 2 minutes of that game. So a huge win there for the Astros. They'll probably take over the number 2 spot. Keene with a 42-6 lead over Brattleboro, Vermont. Just 3 minutes left there. Timberlane hanging on to a 1-point lead over Division 2 powered Souhegan. That's at the end of 3, 21-20 is the score there. Nashua North, they woke up and stormed back 28-15 over Nashua South. That's with about 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That was a game that the Panthers had led through most of the game. Number 4, Portsmouth Oyster River with a shutout, 34-0 over Memorial. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter there. Dover at the half still 35-7 over Spalding. There, Dover's number 17. We're going to be going up there later in the year. The Bulldogs will be facing off against the Green Wave. Speaking of green, Concord, the clash of the colors, the Crimson Tide with a 7-6 lead over the Little Green of Manchester Central. They're still in the first half. That score is 7-6. We'll probably get an update on that score shortly.
Good to hear some of that football action around Division 1. Please join us here on BCTV Tuesday evening as we'll be covering the boys soccer team.
All right, they're on a 3-game win streak.
They'll be hosting Portsmouth on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Also, the volleyball team will be taking on Londonderry Thursday, September 28th. Coverage will start at 6:30. We called it First Serve, right, Harry?
First Serve.
And then next Friday, the Bulldogs will host the Nashua North football team as they will kick off at 7 p.m. We'll bring you that live coverage here on BCTV and WBNH 105.1.
The Bulldogs had won the toss earlier in the game. They deferred, so of course now they're going to get the ball to start the second half, and I believe we will be in run time as the lead is over 35 points. 35 points or more in the second half, so the second half should go fairly quickly, and we might even see some deeper bench players seeing some playing time for the Bulldogs.
First time we're seeing a kickoff for the Grizzlies. Their kickoff coverage team is out on the field. It looks like Owen Cole will be doing the kicking for the Grizzlies.
Number 20, Eric Lewis, and number 24, Lennox Williams.
Back deep for the Bulldogs, Lennox Williams. He will not get the ball, though, as it gets to the up back. Picking that up is number 22, Nate Clark. He dodges a few tacklers. He's still going and gets out past the 40-yard line. I believe they'll mark him at the 42.
Tackled by Zach Clancy.
Probably a good move not to kick it to the Speedy Williams in the back.
Bedford will start 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 on the 42. Jack May again in at quarterback. Seeing some fresh faces in there. It will be nice to see some other folks getting some experience on the field. Bennett Matthews trots in. Lennox Williams.
Dean Poltrinari's in as well.
Poltrinari contributing a bit last year on this offense. In the backfield with May is Eric Millis, junior running back. Trips to the left-hand side, one tight to the right. May, a little toss sweep to Millis. He's going to run out to the left-hand side, cuts it back up inside, and gets ahead for a 1st down into Grizzlies territory. He'll mark him down at the 47-yard line. And the Bulldogs move the sticks.
And that's the first time we've called Millis' name in a game. Getting some significant playing time here with a whole half to go. And he showed pretty good move there. Nice cut, good vision, found a hole, picked up 11 yards.
Looked like the Grizzlies defense was going to string it out here on the near side, but then, as you said, Millis made a nice cut up into the inside. Got ahead for about 11 yards. So the Bulldogs back to the line of scrimmage. Slot right. Trips, well, there's a little confusion on the lineup. Can't get in the right formation. Poltrinari will be a flanker to the left-hand side, slot to the right. Millis toss sweep to the right-hand side. Cuts it up, gets swarmed by several Grizzlies defenders, but not before he's ahead for 5-yard gain. Looks like it'll be 2nd and 5.
Calling some new names for the Grizzlies as well. Jurgen Gannon, number 6, number 12, Zach Clancy, both in on that tackle.
Gain of 4 yards on the play.
Bulldogs organizing their offense a little bit. Again, some confusion on their formation. Weren't quite sure if they were going double slot, maybe a tight, maybe a flanker. We're getting things set up here as they approach the line of scrimmage. It'll be slot left. 2 backs in the backfield, one on either side of May. Braga is the split end on the right. May takes the handoff. It's a designed quarterback run. He runs out to the left-hand side, breaks the tackle. We have a flag down at the 43-yard line in the area where there would be a hold on the offense. So this is likely going against the Bulldogs.
Clancy had a chance for a tackle in the backfield, but May was able to break that tackle. But like you said, penalty's going to bring this back.
It is a hold. It is on Bedford. They will march back from the spot of the foul, so they'll go back into their own territory. It'll be likely 2nd and 17.
Only the 2nd penalty on the Bulldogs, both holding calls.
Keeping this clock running. There are 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Again, your score is 47-0, which is what it was at halftime. This is the opening drive of the 2nd half. The Bulldogs receive the 2nd half kickoff.
2nd down and 16 from the Bedford 47-yard line.
We're going to take a timeout. Bulldogs didn't like their offensive play call. They'll take a few minutes to talk things over with 8:51 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and the Bulldogs ahead 47-0.
And the Bedford Bulldog Athletic Booster Club would like to thank their generous platinum sponsors like Spectrum Marketing, Bedford Village Inn, BEI Network, London Orthodontics, Restore Hyper Wellness, Wicked Good Butcha, and Looney Insurance. And a special thank you, of course, to the gold sponsors Realty One, Ethan Allen, Granite State Cabinetry, and Liberty Hill Construction. On behalf of the 461 student athletes this season, thank you for your support. And if you're interested in becoming a corporate sponsor or an individual member, grab a form at the concession stand next week at the game or visit their website online, bbabc.net.
I love your enthusiasm on that Wicked Good Butcher. I'm sure the proprietor really appreciates that as well.
And the food's good. They have a lot of pre-made sandwiches and soups there. Enjoy it.
Some good burritos. They got a burrito bar, some nice craft beers. So go visit Jay Correa and the guys at Wicked Good Butcher. Around the left-hand side, getting out to about the 50-yard line. We'll call it a 4-yard gain, was Dustin Westcott on the carry around the left-hand side. It'll be second and 13. Excuse me, third and 13.
This is going to be the longest third down of the night for the Bulldogs.
See if they let Jack May air it out here a little bit. He's been mostly handing it off, but see if he gets his arm warm and finds a receiver down the field. Corvo in the backfield with May, trips to the right side, including tight end Patrick Dulac. Split to the left side is Dean Poltrinari. May takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Corvo. Getting out to the outside, making a cut, getting ahead near the first down marker. But I think he's just shy, maybe by a yard. That was Corvo on a 12-yard carry.
Lennox Williams coming back in and making the key block right there to spring the runner.
Nice job not getting a block in the back, but getting him more from the side and giving Corvo some room to get ahead. It's 4th and 1. The offense stays on the field as they're in Grizzlies territory at the 38-yard line.
So an opportunity now for the Goffstown Grizzlies to make a stop.
Going to go with Corvo to the right of May. Lennox Williams wing to the left-hand side. Slot is in the right side into the boundary. They fake it to Williams. Corvo goes off tackle left-hand side, or off the guard. And he gets ahead for a first down. At the 35-yard line, they'll move the chains.
Simple play up the middle. He had the blocking, didn't need to get a lot, just a yard. Picked up 3 or 4, actually 5 yards.
They open up a nice hole for Corvo on 4th down. That was a 4th and 1. The Bulldogs do a nice job of keeping their offense on the field. 1st and 10 at the 35. May in the backfield again. Corvo discussing the play with him. He is to the left of May. Slot left. In motion is Williams. They fake the jet sweep. May will keep it himself off the right side. Gets up to about the 25-yard line, close to the first down marker, but I think he's just shy. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Short by a yard. Max Cody making the tackle there for the Grizzlies, pulling him down from behind.
May's done a nice job with this offense for the Bulldogs. He's getting a good amount of playing time here. Likely will be riding it out.
Well, it's likely May will be inheriting the quarterback job next year, so this is where he's got to learn his skills, hone his skills, I should say.
All signs point to that as the junior quarterback will be taking over. They give it to Corvo again. Fakes inside, bounces to the outside. He's got a lot of room, and he's going to be in for a touchdown. Alec Corvo.
26 yards.
26-yard touchdown. And the Bulldogs put more points on the board.
Bulldogs unstoppable today, scoring on every single possession.
Great job by Corvo. You see, he kind of got stopped up in the middle and had the patience and vision to bounce it out to the left-hand side and just outran everybody as he got out there into space and was able to finish it with his speed.
Yeah, it's like what I asked the coach or brought up to the coach, how they have so many weapons on this team. It's an embarrassment of riches that you have running backs like Brody Helton available to you, and then you've got 4 or 5 other guys who can be almost as good.
They'll go for 2 here. 53-0 is the score. Likely want to get their team's a little chance to get some experience. May takes the snap, goes off the left guard, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. So Jack May, with a 2-point conversion, pushes it out to a 55-0 score. You see there on the replay as Corvo, great vision, great speed, gets to the outside and races to the corner of the end zone. And again, the Bulldogs up 55-0 here in the 3rd quarter.
Another final to report. Keene with a big 42-6 win over Brattleboro, Vermont. Of course, Bedford blanked Keene last week. So the Blackbirds come back with a big win against their cross-state rival in Brattleboro. 2 minutes to go in Nashua, the Battle of the Bridge. It's North 28. No, that's a final now, 28-15 over Nashua South, North over South.
That's not the ruckus at the river? I'm just kidding. Yeah. Thought you were going to coin a new term, but
I'm trying to think of some new ones here. You put me on the spot.
okay.
The stomping at Stellos.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I like it.
Not bad.
I gave you some time. I didn't want to fill it in. I was just letting it hang
just
there. Yeah.
Put a little pressure on me.
Soden back to kick. Kicks it deep. Gets a foot into it here. Patnode picks it up at his goal line. It's out to the right-hand side. Stopped briefly. Tries to avoid some more tacklers, but gets caught right around the 15-yard line.
Bulldogs getting downfield fast, not giving Goffstown not even a chance to get to the 20-yard line.
And they do a good job in that coverage, right? They got down to that 20-yard line, then stopped their sprint. They break down. They're ready to shed tacklers and get in to make sure that no big return is seen. So they capture them back at their 15-yard line, where the Grizzlies will have 1st and 10. Quarterback Tyler Samard, the junior, back under center for the Grizzlies offense. First time they've seen the ball here in the second half. Smart takes the snap. They go off the right guard and wrapping him up after a 3 or 4 yard gain.
They got up to about the 18-yard line.
That was James Tomolovich on the tackle. So we'll call it a 4 yard gain, 2nd and 6. See a hazy moon out there in the distance off to our left. Looks like it's about a quarter moon. Waxing, of course.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off. Speaking of wax on, wax off, Harry, ski season is coming. Samard back under center. T formation. Flanker out to the right. Pivots out. Handoff off the left-hand side. That's Jurgen Gannon. He's ahead for 2 or 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 3, we'll call it.
Tomolovich again on the tackle.
Nice job by Tomolovich getting in and finding the ball quickly.
Forgian on that tackle as well.
So it'll be 3rd and 2 as they mark it at the 23-yard line. Need to get out to the 25 for the first down.
Chance for Goffstown to get it their first down. They had a 3rd and 1 earlier. A 4th, they couldn't convert. Wound up punting.
Man.
Oh no, they went for it, right? They got stopped.
Yeah, turnover on downs, yeah. Samard trying to draw him off. Turns and hands off the right side of the offensive line. Good pop there again. Tomolovich on the carry was Patnode.
Cam Westcott
short.
Also.
Yeah,
number 66. I think they're going to stop him short.
They are short. It's 4th and I would say half a yard.
Good eye. It is about half a yard.
Coach Hammond is going to be in punt formation here. They have Shane Lynn in there.
And once again, Bedford not putting anybody back. They're just going to let the ball fall where it may. A little bit of confusion here. Looks like too many men on the field for Goffstown. Lynn had to send one player off.
Had to get the right players on the field.
We've got a Bedford player down. He might have an injury here, so the clock is going to stop. They give Goffstown a chance to work some things out here. It's number 51, Tomolovich.
Tomolovich, yeah, he just kind of sat down. I think they were ready for the punt, and I'm not sure if he got his bell rung or if he has a cramp of some sort, but yeah, he's pointing to his head, so I think he got popped there on the last play. So they'll take a few minutes to see how he's doing. 2:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 55-0 is your score as the Bulldogs have handed the Goffstown Grizzlies all they can handle this evening.
You know, BCTV's live channels and on-demand content are easier to access than ever before. When you've got the Bedford Community Television app on your phone, it's free on Apple iOS and Android. Download the Bedford Community Television app from your app store today and enjoy our programming live and on demand. And it really is nice.
A revamped version of that app too, right?
Yes, it is. So you've got the old one, you'll need to update it.
It's all right, easy to do. Just make sure you're on your Wi-Fi. Just download the new version. You'll be off and running. See all the old games. If you want to tune in and listen
Relive
to
those magic moments.
Harry Kozlowski on the call. Of course. I mean, that's legendary.
Oh, yeah. That's me. Final in Plastow, Timberlane holding on for a 21-20 win over Sauhegan. That's the Sabres' first loss.
It'd be nice to be able to have some statistics here in the booth, but the Bulldogs' offense dominant in the first half, but surprisingly, they're probably not going to have a huge number for total yardage because of that advantageous field position they experienced throughout that first half.
Nearly blocked there.
Lynn gets it away, nobody back to receive for the Bulldogs. It bounces around the 50, rolls ahead for 5 or 6 yards. It'll be down at the Bedford's 44-yard line.
Luke 10 trying to get in there for that block. He came awfully close.
Big Dog making an impact. Had some good plays on the defensive end, some tackles for loss. Almost got a punt block there, but no dice, and the Bulldogs will take over on their own 44. 1:10 to go and counting. Bulldogs 1st and 10, their own 44. Eric Millis back in the backfield with Jack May. Lennox Williams wing to the left-hand side, slot to the right. May is in the pistol. In motion is Williams. He'll jet sweep to the right-hand side. Millis is out, ready to block for him. Bounces to the outside, and showing a burst of speed is Williams. He has first down yardage and more into Grizzlies territory, and I've been saying that frequently. They are once again in Grizzlies territory.
Yeah, they don't spend much time in their own end very long.
At least not tonight.
And that's it. They get to the 43 of the Grizzlies, and 22 seconds left on the clock. They may not even get the snap off before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, it looks like the referee is discussing that, and they will likely run out this third quarter. They'll swap ends, put 12 minutes back on the board. Bulldogs ahead 55-0 going into the fourth quarter here. Gives a chance for both coaching staffs to discuss their next play.
Bedford Friends of Football is a parent-led organization that functions to support the needs of our team throughout the season, and they couldn't do it without their generous sponsors that include 10 and 10 Attorneys at Law, Coca-Cola Northeast, Stonyfield Yogurt, Organic, Fine Homes Group International, Pepsi, TJ McCarthy Inc., McDonald's on Brown Avenue, Realty One Group, Treescapes by Murphy and Apex Wealth Management. Thank you to our wonderful sponsors.
Again, if you want to get involved, check out bbabc.net. A lot of information up there on how to get involved in the Bedford Bulldog Athletic Booster Club.
I was looking at the golf standings. Bedford, I don't know if this is up to date, but 8-1 record so far. That puts them in second place. Behind Concord, 13-1 is their record. That's the only team that Bedford fell to this year, so they're having a pretty decent year.
Remember, if anybody out there wants to be an official, there is a shortage of football officials and officials all across the sporting realm here in New Hampshire. So if you have an interest, go out to nhiaa.org, find out how to become an official. May takes the snap, hands it off to Corvo. He's going up the middle. Nice little fake and back out to the right-hand side. He's down the right sideline. First down yardage and more. He goes out of bounds, but that clock will still run. We are in running time. We marked at the 17-yard line in Grizzlies territory. Great run there again by Corvo. And now he's trotting out to the sideline.
Field hockey with a loss to Concord, 1-0 on the 20th. They had a game against Keene today. I don't have an updated score there. They're 3-3-1 so far, not counting tonight.
Millis is to the left of Jack May. Slot left, tight right. Lennox Williams on the wing on the right-hand side. He goes in motion right to left. They fake to him. May will keep it off the right-hand side. Gets ahead for 4 yards, we'll call it. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And Jacob Gagne with the tackle from behind.
So the Bulldogs, again in the red zone, have had success on the offensive side of the ball all evening. Mostly running plays. We haven't seen too many pass attempts at all. A couple here and there, but
really the only pass I can recall is the one to Ledger Russell thrown by Bennett Matthews on the halfback option.
yeah, May had a nice little touchdown pass down to the right side here, back to Bennett Matthews again. But other than that, not a lot of action through the air. Millis here is going to be stopped for a loss. Went off to the right side of the line. They'll push him back a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and 8. Inside 10 minutes, this second half clock with running time is moving quickly. A lot of the air has been taken out of it. We do have a lot of nice bright neon colors on the opposite side. It must be a theme tonight for the student section. But the crowd has certainly thinned out with the lopsided score. May, 2 backs in the backfield with him. Takes the snap, hands it to Williams off to the left-hand side. He's going to go out around the edge, gets the corner, gets ahead, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Williams. 14, we'll call it a 15-yard touchdown run for Lennox Williams.
And Williams really turned on the Jets and got around Jurgen Gannon. Jurgen was in position to make a tackle in the backfield, but Williams just found another gear. Found the end zone with that speed. 61-0 with the extra point coming up here. And it looks like they're going to go for 2 again.
You called it, Lennox Williams with the speed. We've seen him over the last 2 seasons with that spark. And that extra burst got him around that left edge. And like you said, Gannon was in a tough spot. Williams bearing down on him, got around to the left side and hits pay dirt.
And they just take a knee. They don't even attempt to score.
They snap it back to May. He downs it in the backfield, so it'll stay 61-0. 9:03 to go in the game. 61-0 is your score. Grizzlies have had trouble since the opening kickoff.
Nashua North, of course, winning today, coming from behind over Nashua South. Battle of the Bridge, 28-15 is the final score, and that is the team we will face next week, a week from tonight at Bedford High Stadium.
The Titans had quite a squad last year, suffered some injuries late in the season, and kind of petered out in the playoffs, but this will be a good matchup for the Bulldogs.
They had a huge injury in the playoff game. Remember, that really turned the tide for Bedford.
Their quarterback was hurt.
Might have opened the door for Bedford to make that playoff run, that championship run, that game against North.
Sure. And earlier in the season, Toby Brown Jr., a dominant defensive lineman, was injured as well. So they had a good squad, but suffered some unfortunate timing on some injuries. And again, you're right, the Bulldogs were fortunate to experience those injuries on the Titans. Took advantage of it. Soden will kick it off again. 9:03 to go in the game.
Bulldogs defense still on that shutout streak.
Man, do you not know anything about superstition, Harry?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking.
You're killing me.
I brought it up a little too soon, didn't I?
I mean, as Michael Scott would say, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. Received here, right side. This is Gannon coming out from his own end zone. Gets to the 25. I believe we have a flag down there. It looked like there was a face mask at the tail end there.
Yeah, I think Eric Millis might have gotten his hand in the face mask on that tackle. So that's going to be another penalty on the Bulldogs, just their third. And it's going to give the Grizzlies pretty good field position here at best of the evening, I think.
That was a personal foul nature of the face mask, so they're going to come out, yeah, all the way out to the 40-yard line.
So that'll be their best drive start of the night.
Returned out to the 25 with the 15 yards, so the defense, the Bedford defense is marching backwards, and the ball is spotted at the 40. And like you said, this is the best field position of the evening for the Bulldogs. Looks like we have a new quarterback for the Grizzlies, Sawyer Nault. He's going to get some time, the freshman stepping in and calling the signals. So Nault in the pistol. Snap is low, he pulls it off the turf, hands it to Lynn. Lynn cuts it up in the middle of the line. Gets ahead for 3, maybe 4 yards. They'll mark him at the 44, so a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. Grizzlies are getting a few of their seldomly used players in. More playing time for the youngsters. Nault's just a freshman. Trying to build for the future here. Nault under center now. Sends his man in motion, left to right, turns, hands off up the middle. Stacked up in the middle there is Noah Casamassino on the tackle, stepping up and filling the hole, but about say a 2.5, almost 3-yard gain.
Dover just went final, 42-14 over Spalding.
3rd and 3 for the Grizzlies. Any more scores, Harry?
Well, Concord poured it on Central. That game was 7-6 for a while. It's 34-6 for the Tide.
Crimson pulling it together there. Nault toss sweep, Gannon over to the right side. Ooh, and he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage. That was Fodios Papanikolaou on the stick. It'll be 4th and 4, maybe 5. Well, they give him a yard forward progress, so 4th and 3, but the Grizzlies will punt it away. Shane Lynn, another opportunity to kick it away. 5:40 to go in the game. 61-0, the Bulldogs lead.
9 possessions, 9 touchdowns.
Chose to kneel it down in the last 2-point conversion attempt. Can't really say it was an attempt.
You know, I wonder if they'll just kneel it out here if they get the ball back. If they'll just kneel it out and punt it.
5 minutes, I would kind of think they'd try to get some positive yardage. Lynn gets it blocked. Coming through, the Bulldogs, big number 66 gets the block. That's Cam Westcott. Squeaks through that line and caught it right in the stomach.
Sacrificing the body.
You gotta love the excitement for the special teams play, but now, as you talked about, the Bulldogs might run a couple dive plays and then kneel it a couple times. You know, 61-0, you don't want to be rubbing it in too much, right?
Maybe they'll get a first down just to get the fresh set of downs and then kneel it out.
With the running clock, it is 4.5 and ticking. So I'm sure the Bulldogs will take their time getting out to the line of scrimmage. They'll let this tick down and snap it likely just before the play clock expires, as Jack May is talking to the head official.
Try to take as much time off as they can.
Yeah, again, you know, there are a lot of points on the board here. Handily in the lead, your second team is scoring touchdowns. Be smart about it. May takes the snap, kneels it down. And that's just under 4 minutes to go. So they'll likely kneel out, as you mentioned, kneel out this entire offensive possession.
And while we're watching this, let's give the fans a quick recap of the scoring here.
Things started early in the first quarter. First offensive possession was capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run by Ledger Russell. PAT was good by Soden. They caused a punt in the Grizzlies' second offensive possession. So Danny Black had the opportunity for a 27-yard touchdown run. That was the second possession and second touchdown. Brody Helton on the next possession took it 21 yards on a touchdown run. That was after a fumble by the Grizzlies. And then 2 plays later, after a short kickoff and a covered kick, a 28-yard touchdown pass from Bennett Matthews to Ledger Russell put the Bulldogs up 28-0. This is all still in the first quarter. And then Brody Helton capped off first quarter scoring with a 22-yard touchdown run, making it 34-0. The PAT was no good. In the second quarter, we had a 16-yard touchdown run by Jack Rizzo, and then an 11-yard touchdown pass from May to Bennett Matthews pushed it out to 47-0. And that was your halftime score. 2 touchdowns here in the second half. Alec Corriveau with a 26-yard touchdown run, and then Lennox Williams with a 15-yard touchdown run, pushing it out to a 61-0 lead. And that's where we are here. Kneel Downs are taking them way back outside the 30-yard line. The Bulldogs will likely snap it in, kneel it down again. I hope this doesn't count as negative rushing statistics for Jack May.
No, I'm afraid it does.
It does. He had a 11-yard touchdown pass. He had a couple of nice runs, but you know, not that he's too concerned about his statistics this evening, but instead of taking a snap and kneeling it for a 1-yard loss, he's taking about a 5-yard loss each time. So he steps forward, kneels it down, and they'll turn it over on downs.
So 90 seconds remaining in the game. Portsmouth Oyster River just went final over Memorial. Memorial getting on the board, but the final there 48-6. The only other game still going on is Concord 34, Central 6.
Grizzlies really had a tough night on the offensive end, and some of that was their own doing, but a lot of that was this Bedford defense. Again, dominant this evening. They have played almost 3.5 full games. That Nashua South game only was a half. They've only let up 3 points on the season. Under a minute to go. The Bulldogs will move to 4-0 on the year. The Grizzlies will drop to 1-3. This is Sawyer Nault back in at quarterback. He's in the pistol. 2 receivers to his left-hand side. Man in motion is Lynn. He'll get the handoff. He'll come to the left-hand side. We're going to have a horse collar tackle here at the 40-yard line. They do capture him before he gets too big a yardage gain, but it is a horse collar penalty, so it'll be a 15-yarder. Relatively clean game so far for both teams. The officials talk it over. And it is a personal foul on the defense. They'll call that horse collar, and they'll mark it off. The Grizzlies will have another snap in Bedford Bulldog territory, as it'll probably be marked at the Bedford 45-yard line. Again, not much went wrong for the Bulldogs offense. They were clicking on all cylinders, a couple trick plays here and there, but their big men up front, kudos to the offensive line as they were opening up holes for these running backs all evening.
And this is the first time Goffstown's been in Bedford territory.
Toss sweep to Lynn. He'll go out to the left-hand side. Runs out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And that will just about do it. 6-5. And the teams will line up for handshakes. The Bulldogs will take home victory this evening as they visit Goffstown Grizzlies and lead wire to wire. 61-0 is your final. We had the scoring summary. It took about a full series to go over it, as there were a lot of points on the board for the Bulldogs.
Yeah. So 9 touchdowns on the night, and really they didn't score on their last drive because they chose to kneel it out, do the sportsman-like thing. So anyway, Corey, great job as always. Thanks for calling the game. We have Colleen Richardson on the camera, Andrew Fenn producing, Dale Bird back doing things at the studio with the replays and whatnot. Your final score, Bedford 61, Goffstown nothing. You've been watching and listening to Bedford football on BCTV and Bedford 105.1.